Hi everybody and welcome once again to NJPW Extra. I'm Chris Charlton right here in the NJPW Event Center where we are just days away from Forbidden Door and AEW and NJPW going head to head in the United Center in Chicago exclusively on pay-per-view. We've got all the news and notes coming out of this week as it relates to that huge event, plus G1 Climax 32, New Japan Dominion, and a fantastic free match this week as we take you to the Vermont Hollywood a few months ago and Fred Rosser facing both members of West Coast Wrecking Crew in order to get a shot at the Strong Openweight Championship. That's still to come, but first, let's take a look at what's happening around the world in New Japan Pro Wrestling this week. A big headline circled from the creation of new champions at Dominion. Carl Anderson defeating Tama Tonga to lift the Never Openweight Championship. Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan outlasting Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens to take home the IWGP Tag Team Championships. Will Ospreay would defeat Sanada to become IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, a championship that continues to have controversy swirling around it, as Juice Robinson was stripped of his title and is currently holding the physical belt hostage in the United States. With the biggest headlines coming out of the main event itself, and Jay White with a hair trigger split-second counter to the Rainmaker, landing a Blade Runner to become IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for the first time and extend an unprecedented Grand Slam of every singles heavyweight championship available in New Japan Pro Wrestling, an accomplishment truly worthy of being called the Catalyst. And the Catalyst was indeed part of AEW Dynamite this week, quickly rebuffing Hangman Page's attempt to challenge the IWGP World title at the United Center June 26 in Chicago for Forbidden Door, before telling Adam Cole that he won't be challenging either. If the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship situation was somewhat muddy heading into the Forbidden Door, the interim AEW World title does have a clear match set. Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Hiroki Goto to earn his shot at Jon Moxley on June 26, and the two engaged in a tense face-to-face this week on Dynamite, but they were interrupted by Chris Jericho, the Jericho Appreciation Society crashing the party and being joined by loners from Suzuki-gun, Lance Archer and El Desperado doing some of Chris Jericho's dirty work, as the self-proclaimed Wizard magicked up a six-man tag team match for Forbidden Door that will see Jericho team with Sammy Guevara and Minoru Suzuki to take on Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, and Shota Umino. Plus, after Will Ospreay and Dax Harwood had a fantastic singles match, things continued to get chaotic between FTR, United Empire, and Chaos, Orange Cassidy throwing his hat into the ring with days to go before Forbidden Door. Over on NJPW Strong, all eyes will be on next week's main event as Fred Rosser finally gets one more chance at Filthy Tom Lawler. Will Tom Lawler take the Strong Openweight Championship with him into G1 Climax 32 and in so doing end Fred Rosser's career on NJPW Strong? Find out next week, 8/7 Central on NJPW World. Meanwhile, it was a stacked night of action on this week's Strong, starting out with a six-man tag team battle between LA Dojo and Team Filthy. While six-man, so to speak, Alex Coughlin and JR Kratos' long-standing issues saw them effectively engaged in a de facto singles brawl as DKC and Kevin Knight took on the West Coast Wrecking Crew. In the end, it would be Isaacs and Nelson picking up the win with a double team and a pin on DKC, while Kratos continued to brawl with the fearsome android Coughlin. Another unique singles matchup was between Arya Daivari and the debuting Delirious in his first New Japan action since Honor Rising back in 2019. Daivari was often frustrated by Delirious's unique style, but after a camel clutch and a captured lariat for a second try, Daivari finally scored a big-time victory on NJPW Strong this week. Speaking of big, Jake Something and Brody King was a heavyweight clash that the Philadelphia crowd was all the way into. It was a brutal, hard-hitting affair, and Jake Something clearly showed Brody that he belonged on Strong, nearly getting the victory with a massive powerbomb for 2 and landing an impressive tope to boot. But it would be the Gonzo bomb that would end it for Big Bad Brody King. And the main event this week saw Hiroshi Tanahashi face Chris Dickinson. Philadelphia hyped to see Tanahashi in his first singles match in the 2300 arena, and Dickinson trying to cut that hype down, as well as Tanahashi down at the knees, with a high-fly attack being countered into a figure 4. Dickinson would land a German suplex and an STF, but his attempt at a brainbuster was countered into the twist and shout, and a sling blade and high-fly flow gave victory to the Ace, just days away from Forbidden Door and Moxley. What a week it's been. I cannot wait to be in the United Center in Chicago for Forbidden Door, and we hope that you join us on pay-per-view. Meanwhile, we hope that you'll join us in Charlotte, North Carolina, July 24th, as NJPW Strong returns to the Grady Cole Center for the first time in 3 years. Eddie Kingston will be a part of the action, the first Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions will be crowned, and Hiromu Takahashi makes his NJPW Strong debut. Trust me, you are gonna want to be a part of that. And we hope that you'll be a part of NJPW Strong every Saturday at 8/7 Central, but especially this week. Fred Rosser puts his Strong career on the line against Tom Lawler for a shot at that Strong Openweight Championship, a shot that he earned at the Vermont Hollywood just a few weeks ago when he faced both members of West Coast Wrecking Crew in a grueling handicap match. That's our free match for this week. It's coming up right now. Ian Riccoboni and Alex Kozlov on the call.
Fred Rosser making a deal with the devil here.
Well, he had no choice, Ian. You know, the man is obsessed. Come on, Ian, come on. Please stand up. Give him a standing ovation. I mean, yeah, that's right. That right there is the strongest of the strong. That is the current Strong Openweight champion, Tom Lawler.
In a denim jumper. He has a romper on.
The man is a trendsetter. You know it. You gotta bow down to the champ. There's nobody better. Fred Rosser is just a man obsessed. He can't accept to be the number 2 guy. He can't accept it. If you are in the same world, in the same universe as Tom Lawler, you will never be number 1. So please, let's give him a standing ovation. Come on, Ian, come on. Look at it.
3 centimeters, 98 kilos, Jorel Nelson. His tag team partner, 183 centimeters, 105 kilos, Royce Isaacs. They are the West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Get your iPhone ready, Ian. Get your phone out. Take these pictures. Look who we have here. Tom freaking Lawler, the champ. Please, come on. Thank you.
Thank you, champ. Welcome.
Ian, please.
And here, I will set my headset down.
Step aside, Ian.
Here, I will make my way. Tom Lawler, welcome to the booth. We are being graced by the first and only champion.
That's right. Good choice of words, graced.
Tom, you're here tonight to observe this 2-on-1 handicap bout. And then you set the terms pretty clear back in Texas.
I cannot believe that the matchmakers, I cannot believe that Fred Rosser, I cannot believe that anybody is letting this match go down. We have 2 number 1 draft picks in the West Coast Wrecking Crew about to take out a guy. Look at me all you want, Fred. That's as close as you're getting this now. Taking on a guy who's lucky to make the roster.
Oh, come on.
Fred Rosser.
I'm with you. If there were tag team champions here in Strong, West Coast Wrecking Crew undoubtedly would either be the champions or be the number 1 contenders instantaneously. Fred Rosser's the only man that's pinned you here in New Japan Strong. Your record is nearly unblemished for the almost 2 years that New Japan Strong has existed. He's the only one that's gotten your number in any kind of bout. You gotta give a little bit of respect to him.
If you watch fighting, if you watch any sport long enough, Ian, you will see people get lucky. It's happened throughout history, right? We can talk about, take a look. This isn't gonna be, it's not gonna be Buster Douglas taking out Mike Tyson. If Fred gets a shot at me, he's not going to make it out of this beating.
And
no doubt about it.
2-on-1 here. Made a deal with the devil to try and get a third opportunity at the Strong Openweight Championship.
Excuse me, what did you call me?
He made a deal with the devil, not say the hypothetical devil. As Isaac's out.
Wow, Fred Rosser cleaning house. I mean, the man is absolutely obsessive compulsive about this idea of capturing the title that has been created for Tom Lawler.
And through the ropes, splitting the difference there. And wow, Royce Isaacs, do his tights say Mayor Royce? This isn't The Wire.
I'll vote for him.
Oh.
This is clearly an illegal tactic on the part of Fred Rosser.
Well, I mean, why does he feel like he needs to use the barricade here to neutralize his opponent? I mean, isn't he all about fairness? Let's play by the rules.
We
right?
were in this building when Team Filthy also used the barricade. I think it's fair for an eye for an eye.
Wait, Team Filthy does not live by the philosophy of Fred Rosser, first of all. Let's clear that up.
What is the referee doing here? He needs to start getting on this count. Fred Rosser's using this to his advantage.
Well, it's 2-on-1 here.
Oh, no!
But that's legal. This is not legal, fighting on the outside like this.
Jarrell Nelson by the hair here. Fireman's carry position. Fred Rosser in control right now.
Say it again, Ian. He had Jarrell by the hair. That's the reason why he was able to do that.
And Rosser. Ooh, the thumbs down. And
is that to signify his loss to me in December? Is that what that was?
Two times voted the match of the year.
That's
New
right.
Japan Strong.
Yeah.
They're epic clashes.
2 historical defenses, 2 historic losses for Fred Rosser.
And look at this, the elbows, reminiscent of what went down in your last encounter. Just drilling down with those elbows.
That's illegal in my former mixed martial arts rule set, but if Fred thinks I haven't adapted by now, he's sorely mistaken.
The chicken wing here, using that knee to drive through.
Well, if Royce can get to that rope, he's real close.
And what Rosser's done successfully is he's separated both men, but how long can he keep this pace up? He's really exerting his energy here to try and keep them separated.
Well, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we know how hard he trains, but it doesn't matter who you are. Your energy will be depleted. You got to manage your energy well. But how can you do that with the West Coast Wrecking Crew?
Especially 2-on-1.
Well, I think this is a tactic by the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Fred Rosser looks to me like he's on the verge of wearing himself out here. He's having to take a little rest.
One of the most finely conditioned athletes in New Japan. But 2-on-1, there's an extra man you have to worry about at all times. If he's not going to wear down physically, mentally, this is going to be a challenge. Wondering where Nelson is at all times, including right now.
There you go.
I wasn't wondering. I knew he was going to be in the right spot. And there it was.
And the West Coast Wrecking Crew now.
Well, they're gonna put the work on Fred Rosser now.
This team functions
They're gonna wreck him
exceptionally as a unit.
Oh my God!
And
look at those forearms, a headbutt.
And they get free reign here. The rules of the match
That's right.
explicitly say both men can be in the ring at all times. And if you're Fred Rosser, I know pride is on the line. I know how desperately he wants to challenge once again for your championship, Tom, but why would he enter a match like this? This is almost unwinnable.
If you're Fred Rosser, not only is your pride on the line, right now your health is on the line, your breath is on the line, your future in this business is on the line. You're getting beat up by 2 men who are blue chippers.
That's right. I mean, maybe a better option for Fred Rosser is to just retire and enjoy his family. You know, does he really need to get into this?
Retire? As we take a look here, you know the Rosser family in attendance here tonight.
I'm doing Fred a favor by saying no to his challenges. What's Fred going to do after I beat him again? What is his goal going to be?
And
what? And Royce Isaacs is coming over here on stage.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What is this?
Get your. I wanna get your vibe. I wanna get it. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, come on.
Oh man, that's money right there. That's money right there. My God, come on, Ian, get your phone out. Get your phone out. That is beautiful right there.
You're on video.
The champ of the West Coast Record Group reminding the world what they're all about. Come on, Ian. Come on.
You are caught red-handed on video taking a selfie
Sorry,
here.
I can't help myself. I mean, you don't. It's not every day you have the chance to have the West Coast Wrecking Crew and Tom Lawler here on the same.
Wasting precious time was the West Coast Wrecking Crew, and I don't believe this. They can just win the match. They can put Fred Rosser out of his misery instead. They gave him a chance to get his breath, to capture momentum, to plan his next move, and Fred Rosser back in this. Rosser with a knife edge chop here.
Turn my back for 1 second. What's happening?
Irish whip. Well, your guys decided to pose, and Fred Rosser. Oh God!
Rosser must have slipped, and he.
Oh yeah.
No, that was a beautifully legal tactic by the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Royce Isaacs pulled the rope down.
Oh,
it's
no,
legal.
Of
2
course,
on 1,
absolutely
he can do
legal. Absolutely. This is a 2-on-1 contest.
Yeah, and now turnabout's is fair play here on the floor. Fred Rosser wanted to try to use this to his advantage before. Look at how it's working out for him now.
Oh, he's paying for it now. How about that?
Slingshot into the body slam.
That's just beautiful. That's beautiful.
As Isaac sending Rosser in big trouble here. Cover, just a 1 count. We know Rosser has a lot of adrenaline, a lot of heart. He is not going to quit.
I say stay down. Just stay down.
That's not in Rosser's playbook, his vocabulary. Ooh.
Do yourself a favor, Fred. Save yourself. Save yourself for the future. Save yourself for somebody else besides Team Filthy.
The longer this match goes on, I sadly am inclined to agree. Fred Rosser in deep, deep trouble here. The West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Oh my God, how about that? That's it.
Double
Goodbye.
cover, 1, 2,
That's
3.
it.
Your winners of the match, the West Coast Wrecking Crew!
Fred. The ego on Fred Rosser to think he was going to beat 2 men and get a title shot at Filthy Tom. Fred, you're just like all these other losers here who...
I mean, he makes a good point.
No, these are ticket-buying fans. These are not losers.
All you do is ask for favors.
No.
Give me this. Give me that. Fred. Fred, you want something from me? Hey, you want something from me? Let me give you a little bit of advice, okay? Let me give you a little bit of advice. A champion acts a certain way, a champion looks a certain way.
What is he implying here?
And quite frankly, Fred, to me, you don't even look like a worthy challenger. So. You always are asking me to do you a favor. You want a shot at this title? Why don't you do me a favor, Fred? I'm giving you some career advice. I liked you better when you were bald. You remember this? You remember when I cut your hair in Philadelphia? You remember that? You remember when I beat your ass after that for the title? Do you remember that? You want a title shot? You want a title shot, Fred? I want you to do something for me. I want you to get rid of that hair.
Oh, come on. It's part of his identity. The indignity of them removing his hair
Look at
physically.
This. Are you ready? What do you think, Royce? What do you think, Jarrell? What do you say, Fred? Is it time for Mr. Rosser to catch a fade?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, listen.
No.
How bad does he want it? How bad does he want it? You want a title shot? It's probably going to be his last one. If
Look at Isaacs just.
You want a shot?
You don't have to do this, Fred.
How bad do you want it, huh? How bad do you want it, Fred?
Fred's never been a man who's conformed. He's always been a leader. He's been encouraging others to show who they really are deep down inside.
maybe he doesn't want it bad enough.
He's a role model. He doesn't need to do this, Alex.
He doesn't. I agree with you. He doesn't. He just needs to settle. Just settle. Be the number 2 guy in New Japan Strong. Just settle. Oh. Wow. And Jarrell Nelson just ran those clippers over the head of Fred Rosser. And I guess you can't. Oh, wow.
And look at Rosser. Rosser taking agency and ownership of this as his family looks on. And he's getting in Lawler's face.
Darn it.
Do I get my title shot or not? What do you think? Does Fred Rosser deserve a shot at the belt?
Well, I mean, look, he's had his chances, so does he really?
But he's proved time and time and again that he...
Oh! That is filthy! This is filthy, Tom Lawler! This is why he is filthy, Tom Lawler.
I'm not like the rest of you. The answer, Fred, is no!
Well, look, he's the champ. He's given him chances before.
And Fred had an opportunity despite however long the odds. And Fred is not willing to compromise on what he believes in.
You know what? You know what, Fred? You want something of mine? There's a show, New Japan Collision, coming up on my birthday. And I can't think of a better present to give myself than to finally get rid of the man that has been the biggest pain in my ass for the last 2 years, and that's you, Fred. Fred, I want you to put something on the line. I don't want your career. I just want you to give up what you love most. You can go wrestle wherever you want. You can go to the Impact Zone. You could go to AEW. maybe you'll get a visa to go to Japan. But if you can't beat me for this belt, I want your ass out of New Japan Strong for good.
Oh, man.
How bad does he want it?
Why don't you meet me in the middle of this ring right now? And give me an answer, Fred. What's your answer? Are you gonna put up your career in Strong?
It's a big decision.
Huge. I mean,
His contract means more than anything to him. Think about all the media. Think about all of the news shows, the cable stations that Fred Rosser's on, proudly displaying the New Japan Lions mark. Think about what that has meant to him as he tries to rebuild and reconstruct. Think about all the good he's doing, sharing the message of blocking the hate. This is his outlet. This is his message of communicating to the people of the things that are most important to him. He's willing to give up his hair. He's willing to give up big matches. To me, Fred Rosser, though, has a choice. Does he potentially risk the outlet by which he's able to show what a courageous individual he is to get the one thing he's been chasing for so long, Alex?
I mean, this has been his home. This is his home. This is his life. Is he willing to give it up for that one title shot, the last one that he'll probably get?
Fred Rosser knows deep down, as you see him with his family, that he is the only man who has pinned Filthy Tom Lawler. And he has a lot to think about. Hopefully we will get that answer in time as Fred Rosser considers his fate.
What a match and what a week it's been in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's only going to get bigger next week after Forbidden Door in Chicago. Can't wait to be there. Join us on pay-per-view Sunday, June 26th. AEW and NJPW presenting an event for a lifetime. Make sure you're there, and I'll see you on NJPW Extra next week. Until then, gokigenyo, sayonara.